demonstration. That is the end of the demonstration.
Okay.
Yep. So you're saying, Sarah, that you have people from Toronto and...
Yes,
Sarah?
there are some people. Yes, there are some people from Toronto and also from Calgary in the Hangout right now. Do you all have any questions for Jeff as he's walking through the people there?
I don't hear them.
Go ahead, Lori.
Well, I was first of all, thank you for doing a broadcast last night. I appreciate that. I was watching you closely last night. It does look smaller in the streets. Anyone, is it still a sort of an illegal, declared an illegal protest at this point?
That we don't know yet. This is really difficult because sometimes the police force say that it's illegal, but they let it do it. At the beginning of the weekend, last week, there were a lot of riots. And it was bad public relation for the students. So the students take it in their own hands to try to pull the people that were making trouble out of the demonstration. A lot of people, in fact, in Ontario, I heard, are against the movement of the students. So I would like to hear what the person in Toronto think about that.
Well, you know, I'm sitting here watching the events, and I think this is much larger than an increase in tuition.
Yeah, on that you're totally right.
Policy.
In fact, the people are not only demonstrating for the tuition, they're sick of the corruption of the government. They're sick how the government is working. But it's the students who are the leader in that demonstration.
Would you say that the majority of people who have joined these students, do you see any people over the age of the college age, or what are some of the groups that are aligning themselves with the students?
Last week, in fact, we saw a political party that's called Québec Solitaire that they came to join. In fact, they came especially because they were trying to stop the violence that was happening, and in fact it did. Now we're in front, in fact, of McGill University on Sherbrooke. I don't know if you see it well.
Yes, we can see very well. Yeah, I can see. And so are there police walking alongside them, Jeff, or are they pretty much at the front and the end of this march?
That's a good question. In fact, I saw that there's police that are walking on the sign. I'll try to show it to you. And in the past demonstration, like last night, I heard that there were some arrests.
Yeah.
And what are they saying? What are they chanting?
So far, they don't say. They don't say. Hold on. It's at the end of a demonstration that they're more loud. I'll try to reach them.
So if you're just joining us, this is Jeff Francois Desmarais, and he is following a demonstration in Montreal. Students there protesting tuition hikes and more. And he is started at the end of the demonstration. He's walking towards the front of the march. March is going on all this week. Earlier this week, they turned violent, and 85 people actually were arrested. There was another demonstration last night as well. People were carrying signs and chanting the slogans. One of the phrases on the sign is, "Who is the street?" Is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, who the street belongs to, and the answer is to us. That the answer is.
That was one of
answer. Yeah.
That was on the sign. So looking there,
no, they're turning. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Are you on a 4G or a MiFi connection? What equipment are you using there, Jeff?
No, I'm on a 4G, a key 4G, and tonight it works really well. Now they're claiming the name of the Prime Minister.
Say that again?
Sorry. Mainly the people that I see tonight are students. Contrary to last night, there were a lot of people that were older. You have to know that those students are from university. Over the 5 years, there's supposed to be a raise of 82% of the tuition fees.
And how long
now
have
we're
some
going.
of...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Now we're approaching Sainte Catherine, which is a really busy street. So far, it's really peaceful.
Jean-Francois, this is Captain Lam from Calgary.
Hi, Captain.
Hi. Can I ask you a question? From TV footage in the last few days, there are mass protests and kicking windows and destroying property. Do you see any mass protests tonight, or they are pretty peaceful and unmasked?
They're really peaceful. Sorry, I'm doing a white balance. Okay. They're really peaceful, and each time there's a problem, like, see now, there's street in middle of the protest, in middle of the demonstration. That could make a trouble. But no, people are really peaceful. They're going inside of the cars, and everything goes smooth.
And so there is traffic on that street, and they're just walking
traffic.
on.
The police force haven't succeeded to block everything because the police don't know exactly where they're going, and in fact, they don't even know where they're going.
How are they organizing these protests? What kind of social media are they using, or where are people finding out about these demonstrations?
Facebook and on Twitter. On Twitter, if you type hashtag GGI, like Golf India, you will see that that's the feed of the manifestation, of the demonstration. In French, we call that a manifestation. That's why I always get mixed up between the two. Also, if you want to follow the demonstration, you can type hashtag manifest, MANIFENCOURS.
Okay, manifest course.
That means manifest en cours.
In progress.
Any question?
Yeah, I'm. Go ahead, Lori.
There's a provincial election coming up. What kind of impact do you think it's going to have on the provincial election?
Yeah, in fact, that's what the students also want. They say that they're going to stop. There's a rumor, it's not official, but they say that they're going to stop. They're going to stop the demonstration if there's election that's happening.
And these students, can you explain for some of the people, for instance, who are watching in the United States, how long have these students been striking?
For 2 months. They have been striking for 2 months. There's a strong possibility that they're going to lose their semester. So the 2 months or the month and a half that they started to study, it's lost. Their tuition fees are gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Quebec, the students don't pay too much, but you have to keep in mind that we pay a lot of tax in Quebec. It's a province that is the highest tax rate, and so the students are willing to. In fact, they ask for. There's some part of the students that are asking for not having any more tuition anymore, not pay any more fees. There are some orders that are more negotiable, if you can say.
Do you see any signs like you saw last night, Jeff, or are they pretty much walking?
Pardon me? Sorry, I missed that.
Do you see any signs tonight? Are people carrying any signs? And if so, what do they say?
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, we can see those. We see they're carrying some flags. And what is the flag that they're carrying?
It's the red flag. In fact, when you have a red square on yourself, it's kind of the sign that you support the student strike. And if you're wearing a green square, it means that you don't support the strike, because you have to understand that it's not all the students that are on strike. There's 170,000 students that are on strike out of 400.
And so tonight, which group is more represented, the red scarves or the green scarves?
No, the green scarf are not here.
Mm-hmm. And earlier this week, what has their presence and numbers been for the green scarf?
That I would not be able to tell you.
Okay. They really haven't had that much of a visible presence, have they?
The green, no. The green, they put an injunction in the court. They got their injunction, but you have to understand that the strike had been voted by the student. So now it's the court against the democracy, and it's an issue.
Now, whether you're red scarf or green scarf, you're going to lose your tuition fees if you lose the semester.
No, the green, some of the green succeed to go back in class.
Okay.
What are they saying, Jeff?
With us in the street. Come with us in the street. They're inviting people.
It appears to be quite peaceful.
Yeah, it is.
And what area are those restaurants that you're by?
Yeah, I'm on Sainte Catherine now.
Jeff, is that the busiest street in Montreal?
Say it again?
Is this the busiest street in Montreal?
Yeah. The Sainte Catherine is definitely the most commercial street. Yeah. Now they're turning again.
How large would you estimate that group, Jeff?
The police service say they estimated to 3,000 person.
Okay. And if you all are just watching this is Jeff Francois Desmarais. He is live on the streets of Montreal tonight in a Google Plus Hangout. A Google Plus Hangout is a 10-person video chat room where people gather to have conversation, and Jeff is bringing us these images live from his mobile, not his mobile phone, but a laptop that has a 3G, 4G connection, correct?
Yeah, it's a 4G by Videotron, and the streaming seems to be quite good tonight. I have to tell you, Sarah, that I'm going to be able to last only about an hour, a little bit more, a bit less. Just it's an issue with the battery that we have. We're going to solve it in the next time, but for now,
So Jeff, can you talk about the police presence in the area? With the students turning around, are the police kind of cornering them, or what's the situation with the police?
They're trying, but they don't succeed much, I can tell you. You will see at the end of the march, there's the cavalry and also the police on the bicycle.
Have any police been injured in any of these demonstrations, especially on Wednesday when 85 people were arrested?
Yeah, I think that there were minor injury on the part of the students, and there were some injury also on the part of the protester.
So this has pretty much been successive nights and night after night after night, correct?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Has there been a night this week when there has not been a demonstration?
I don't know exactly, Sarah, but I know that almost every night. I'm not able to tell you for sure if every night they were there, but almost every night they were there, and as much people as that.
And there have been some people who've said it's not just about tuition hikes. Can you talk to that? Talk to that point a little bit, either Lori or Jeff.
I will let Lori talk about it if she wants.
You know, I'm still learning more about the Montreal situation. I mean, I don't know too much about the tuition hikes other than it is a sizable amount that's being requested. So.
In fact, you have to understand that Quebec province is the only province that speaks French in Canada, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, sorry for that, but the federal government is mainly part from the West, and people believe that there's no much comprehension about the reality of Quebec, and that is also in the problem that people feel.
And obviously, tuition is a key theme in your elections there, and also becoming a key theme in U.S. elections as well. President Obama, for instance, in his re-election bid, trying to energize those young voters, and has been talking about tuition fees. And so they're even citing the French-Canadian students as an example in this whole tuition debate as part of the international focus on the price of education. Here in the U.S., right here in Columbia, Missouri, we had students that rallied peacefully at our state capitol because of talk of raising their tuition rates. So it's not just not just in Canada, it's all over, but it is interesting that's in Canada. And in fact, a lot of the times when people see images, visa images coming out, they're really surprised that they are coming out of Canada. Do you find that people have that reaction, Jeff?
We started hearing about the issue of tuition fees in the United States. In fact, this week, I saw a video running on the social media this week about that issue. Hold on.
Jeff is headed to the side of the street there. He is in Montreal, showing us a live scene of what some of the demonstrations that are going on there, with thousands of people. Had estimated a head count of about 3,000, he said, according to police there.
Now we're on Lévesque.
Are there much media there covering this, Jeff?
Yeah, tonight there's a lot of media. I think, Sarah, I think it's funny because I think that the media are starting to see that the unconventional media are covering it, and in fact they hear it from the exterior of Quebec. They heard that Fox did something, Le Monde, which is in France, did an article on that. And if you want to see a live feed that is excellent, you can go see a CUTV. This is Concordia University, and they're really, really efficient. They're really good, and they're streaming live on live stream, I think.
And give that name again.
C, like Concordia University TV.
CUTV.
Yeah.
What do they have in their hands that they're shaking? Or those drums?
It's drums. They're just making this afternoon. They had another demonstration, and that demonstration was a demonstration about making noise. They needed to make noise. I was not there, but I know that that today they had 4 demonstrations.
And Dan, did you have a question that you wanted to ask Jeff? Dan Weil?
Did the university or the government do anything illegal in regards to the tuition hike?
Can you repeat that, please?
I was wondering if the government or the universities did anything illegal as far as declaring the tuition hike.
Sorry, I missed that. There's a lot of noise here. There's a skateboarder passing just by me, and Sarah, maybe you can repeat it?
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Say it again.
I was just wondering if anything illegal was done by the government or the universities in regards to the tuition hike.
Okay, that is an excellent question. The students, basically what they're saying is they're saying that they want that the government reconsider how the financing of university has been done, and then if there's a tuition fee that's going to be raised, they're willing to evaluate it. But at first, what they're saying is they want to be able to take a look how the university are managed, and based on that, they're willing to negotiate. See.
So one of the things that the protesters are saying is they want their education system to move, for instance, closer toward a model of Sweden, where post-secondary education is free.
Yeah.
Is that one of the things that you're hearing, and do you think that has much traction there? Where post-secondary education...
Yeah, the more radical students, like class, are asking for free tuition fees, and there's 2 other associations that are willing to negotiate, but as long as all the 3 associations are at the table for negotiating.
Mm-hmm.
The tuition here, the tuition fees are a lot less expensive than anywhere else in the United States or even in Canada. So there's a lot of people in Ontario that says that the students are just complaining for nothing.
I have to say I've seen that a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
I won't go as far as it's complaining about nothing, but in Alberta, in Calgary, it's definitely, with the tuition increase, it's only still going to be $3,800. That doesn't seem like a lot of money, and then especially you get an education out of it, and that seems to be the general impression.
It does seem to be the general impression. We lost him, and I will resend him the link as we speak. So it looks like a crowd of thousands there. Earlier on Wednesday, 85 people arrested in those demonstrations that turned violent. And last night, there was also a similar gathering, several thousand poured into the streets. And you saw, I would say, about a smaller crowd, just comparing it to last night. Obviously, I'm not there at the scene, but Jeff also confirmed that it was pretty much a smaller crowd as well. And I will wait for him to rejoin us. And again, you're watching just a peek into what the streets of Montreal are like this evening. Students spilling into the streets to protest tuition hikes, although some people say it's not just about tuition. Lori, can you talk a little bit about your connection to Montreal? Matter of fact, your sister is at the university there. Is that correct?
That's correct. She is a professor at one of the universities in Montreal. I was fortunate that I was in Montreal last week on business, and so of course with the protests in the streets, we talked about it. From her point of view, a lot of the professors feel the same way. They're really thinking hard about how they can help the students make up their classes, because they're aware there's a number of students that don't want to lose their term, and of course, if you lose your semester, you lose all the money that you paid into it. It's getting a little bit difficult now because they've been on strike for a number of weeks, so it's getting hard to be able to accommodate that.
Mm-hmm. Kempton, in Calgary, are people watching this issue very closely, or what are people saying there in Calgary?
Yeah, we're watching it on the national news, and I can't speak for others, but again, my impression is reading the figures, it's like $3,800 after the increase. It's still not a lot of money. I mean, after all, people go to university, getting a university education, get some value of it in their career, in their lifetime. So it seems like if the government is suffering in terms of tax revenue and whatnot, having the students who actually benefit from the education bearing part of the cost seems to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
Jeff,
think it's about the cost anymore, though. I mean, I think that it began as a huge increase, but it's morphed into something much larger.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And Jeff has rejoined us now.
Yeah.
Jeff, are you there?
Yep. I lost the signal.
That's all right. No problem. We appreciate you sharing your time with us to show us that perspective. Looks like you are sideways, my friend, as far as your...
Yeah, I'm just putting the computer back in the bag.
Okay. Sounds good.
Am I...
And would...
which camera do you have, Sarah, now?
I've got the one that's showing the police vehicles.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. So you have two cameras connected to your laptop?
No, I have the webcam, in fact, and I have the DVR, the Sony HDR.
Okay. And are those police vehicles there? Is that the end of the demonstration?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Jeff, as we close out here, are there any parting words that you would like to leave people, or that people should know about this situation? Obviously, it's not just in Canada. People all over the world are watching what's happening here. We mentioned, about political leaders now, even including messages about tuition in their re-election bids as well.
Yeah. People, I think that the movement here is because people are really mad at the government, at their people that are in charge of the government. They feel that they don't do their job properly. They feel that the people that are in power don't listen to them, and that gets people really angry. And also, as I said yesterday in the Hangout last night, there were a problem with the corruption here. They started a commission d'enquête inquiry about the corruption, and the corruption is linked to political parties. And People are really angry about that. And what is the worst in all that is for having the inquiry, the people were asking for month and month. There were a lot of demonstration again. People were mad about it. Everybody asked for the inquiry, and the government didn't want to give it. And at the end, the pressure was so tough on them that they decided to give it. But the people are still remembering that. And now the government refused to negotiate with the student for 2 months. And then at the end, they decide to negotiate and give them not much for the perspective of the students. And just the fact, in fact, that they refused to negotiate for 2 months, which jeopardized their semester for the kids, for the students. That got a lot of students mad about it, and that's the reason why we have so much demonstration every night. There's people in the street here in Montreal, and there's also people in the street in Quebec, I heard, and there's also people in the street in Trois-Rivières. And there's demonstration every day.
In your lifetime there in Canada, can you ever remember a time when there were this many demonstrations?
When I was really young, there were la crise d'octobre, what we call. Okay, hold on. So there were la crise d'octobre. That was where the federal government and the provincial government asked the army to come in because there were violence and kind of a revolution. You have to understand that in Quebec we all speak French and the rest of Canada is English, and that makes a lot of friction.
Indeed. Are you seeing the end of is that the end of the demonstration right there where the police, mounted police are?
Yeah, that's the Calgary. Yeah, and
they're
turning back, and we're going back. In fact, we should be there in 5 minutes. They're going back exactly to the starting point.
Gotcha. And again, this appears a peaceful demonstration this evening. Before we go, I want to ask any of the individuals in our Hangout, any additional questions for Jeff as he's moving through there? And Jeff, thank you so much for sharing your time to give us this glimpse right there from the street. This is much appreciated.
So Jeff, do you feel safe reporting on the street tonight compared to a few nights ago?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of your answer. There's an helicopter, in fact, right on top of me.
Do you feel safe tonight, filming and reporting tonight?
Yeah. Tonight, I was there last night. Last night was my first time that I was streaming live. In fact, that was my first night that I was in the street. And I don't know if you saw the link that Sarah, did you put the link public that I sent you?
I have not put that link public. I'm not able to share those links within the Hangout because that's copyrighted material, but I can share those other links out on a public post.
Yeah, if you can just link on or tomorrow I will do it. You will see that the demonstration were not peaceful in the past week, and since a couple of days the demonstration were peaceful, and no, it's definitely safe now.
Looks like you're approaching a little bit more in the street in there. And again, you're watching, this is coverage from Montreal with protests over student hikes, and this is Jeff Francois Desmarais sharing his time to show it with us. Jeff, we so appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your time.
Now we're at the Place des Arts, Complexe des Jardins. You can see the amount of people there were. There's a lot of people, in fact.
I do have one question for you. What's been some of the reaction from the business owners around there?
Aha. In fact, there
Have
were
they had-
some. Yeah. You want to know the perspective of the business owner?
Yes. Yeah,
I heard
curious.
that the business are not too great around schools. The business owner around schools or university are not too great.
They're not very happy about it, huh?
No. It hurt a lot of the city. Even the mayor that this week came out and did a public conference that says that it needs to stop because this hurt a lot the city.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, Jeff, we certainly appreciate you showing that to us. And if you were able to continue, that's great. I don't want to keep you as long as your internet connection and your battery holds up. It's a very interesting perspective from you there.
There's going to be, I think that the march is stopped now. There's a big area where there's usually show during the summer, and I think that the demonstration is stopped.
You mentioned that there are helicopters as well. There's a helicopter.
It's really peaceful. There's cars, there's traffic. Unfortunately, the police haven't succeeded to stop all the traffic, and the demonstrator just passed next to the cars that are in the middle of the streets.
Mm-hmm. And I also think it's important to show the peaceful part of that riot. I know we in the media. Sometimes during the protest for any endeavor, whether that be the Occupy movement or another endeavor, have received criticism for not showing peaceful assemblies, and so that's an interesting part, an important part to show that not all of the demonstrations there were violent.
Yeah, it's funny, Sarah, that you say that because lately, because the demonstration were not violent anymore. Some people says that because there's no violence, the media, the traditional media, are not there. So there's media like the streaming, like I do, and the fact that put a lot of pressure on the traditional media to come back to cover the event, even if there's no violence.
Yeah, that is an interesting point.
So far, Sarah, the battery is good. I think that the fact that the way as I fix the computer, I think we're saving the batteries.
And if you all are just joining us, this is a peaceful demonstration in Montreal that you're watching. And Jeff, you want to introduce yourself again to people who are just joining us and tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Francois Desmarais. You can call me Jeff, in fact, because I know that for English people, sometimes Jean-François is hard to pronounce. I'm not a journalist, by the way. I'm a TV director, and I'm a freelance TV director. I work for Videotron now, and I work also for sometimes for other company.
You are a journalist tonight.
It seems that the demonstration is not stopped. They decide to continue on Sainte-Catherine. They're going back on Sainte-Catherine. It's really peaceful. People are walking, are chanting.
What about the designated leaders of this movement? Have designated leaders come forward? And that has been a criticism of some movements that it wasn't well organized. Have there been student leaders come forward in this respect that are organizing primarily?
Yeah, it's funny because I had a discussion with a student today, and I was telling him that, like, this walk, there's nobody that leads it. They don't know where they're going. They're walking, and they just hope that the police will let them do whatever they want. What they're saying is, scream louder for that nobody forgets us. You have to understand that they have been in the media for 2 months, and what they're scared of, with reason, is that the media starts get not interested in them anymore. So that's why they were screaming that.
And are there media cameras around you now?
No, because I'm kind of at the end of the walk. I'll try to go a little bit more ahead. What they're saying now is they say Charest, which is the name of the PM, Prime Minister. They want to pull him out of office and ship him into the north, because Charest did a bad joke last week, saying when there were riots, violent riots, really, in fact, the day that they were the most violent, he said a joke saying people are, he was at an event, and the students were trying to get into that event to do the demonstration, and he says, and all the doors were closed, and he says, you know, our event is so popular that our people are banging at the doors to get in. And he said after that, le plan Nord, I don't know how to translate that in English. Le plan Nord is a good thing. We're going to give a job to those students, and we're going to ship them to the north. Meaning, like, they're not going to bother us anymore. And that was really bad. Really
what are you
badly
seeing in
perceived.
front of? What are you seeing in front of you now? What is that building?
Now we're at Square Philippe, and they're going everywhere. The police are here. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do.
Because it's all spread out in all different locations. So there's no one person leading.
That's it. Yeah.
By the way, Jean-Francois, you're referring to Jean Charest, right? The Premier of the province of Quebec, not the Prime Minister of Canada.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Premier. For us, it's Premier Ministre in French. For the people that don't know me, as you can hear, my first language is French. So if I make some mistakes, please apologize my English.
We appreciate you sharing your time with us.
So who's in the Hangout, Sarah?
We have Dan Weil, he's from Columbia, Missouri, and also Kempton Lamb. from Calgary, Canada. Lori stepped out just a moment ago. She was from Toronto as well. I had opened up on my stream as well. I can tell you some of the comments from some of the individuals watching. Obviously, this is a talkable topic. And I'll read you some of the comments. Deborah Boyd asks, why are they demonstrating? Jeff, I'll let you answer that.
Last year, the government decided to raise the tuition fees substantially over 5 years. They decided to raise it 80%, around 80%. And the students were really mad about that. So during that year, they haven't done anything. They just got organized, and the budget was adopted. And then the student got organized, and they decided to go on strike if the raise was going to be adopted with the budget, which happened.
We have Antoine Lehero commenting on our stream, who says that he will be protesting in the streets with his comrades tonight. He has a tablet in hand, and he might share some images, video, and comments if he is able to. Antoine, I've invited you to the Hangout, but due to legalities, it's not allowed to join a Hangout from a mobile device. Perhaps that'll happen in the future.
You were asking about the traditional media, Sarah?
Uh-huh.
People from Radio-Canada are here.
Mm-hmm.
T'es pas trop fatigué, les gars? Ça va bien? Ça va? Ouais.
Radio-Canada is part of the CBC, my understanding is part of the CBC, but the French part of Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah.
Jeff, how long do they usually go in the evenings? Last night, how long did they march?
Last night, the student that I was talking, he says that in the middle of the demonstration, he stopped, got a beer in a bar or something like that, drank his beer, and went back to the demonstration and finished by around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Well, I don't think that we're going to go that far tonight. I'm not going to go that far anyway. What time is it, by the way?
It is 10:30 your time. It is 9:30 our time central here in Columbia, Missouri. So, Jeff, I will go ahead and end here. Are there any parting words that you would like to leave people, either watching this unfold or that you'd like to share about the sentiment there?
No, it's the only thing that I see tonight is a really peaceful demonstration. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And important to show the peaceful and the non-peaceful as well. So it's interesting that we had a glimpse into that. Thank you again, Jeff. I so appreciate you sharing your time, and to Kempton and Dan and Lori as well, especially that perspective from Canada. We certainly appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, John, for sharing, and thanks, Mr. for doing this.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, people, and I hope that you enjoyed. And I think that it's just a beginning of new media. I think that people will try to use that a little bit more. All right.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what the future holds. As far as this is a Google Plus Hangout, so there could be 10 people from all different perspectives in a breaking news situation.
Amazing.
Showing what they're seeing, just like what Jeff is doing here. So that will be interesting to watch that in the future, indeed. So thank you, Jeff, for your time.
Thanks. Thanks, there.
Absolutely. You all take good care. And have a nice night.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.